Well, hello again everybody, welcome back, and little job for this weekend. Bank holiday over here in the UK, so we're going to have new doors on the lock shed, make it a little bit more draft proof and a little bit more secure, especially so we can actually install the SB lock. So we're going to be moving into the woodshed and making a start. Okay, so here we are in the woodshed. I don't like buying wood, but I had to get some, so we've got some 4x2 CLS, which is going to be the framework for the door. These are the uprights. I've got 3 here for the stiles. I've got a whole load of this scrap wood, which is scrap packaging wood from work, which I can clean up, turn into some tongue and groove for the panelling on the doors. I've got a nice set of ball bearing hinges for it, for when it goes on. So basically the whole thing should cost about £20 in the end by the time I'm done. So the first thing we're going to be using mortise and tenons on the joinery for the door. So we'll start off by cutting some tenons on the ends of these stiles. So I'll get set up for that. Right, so I've got the table saw set up now for cutting these tenons. We have the correct depth set on the saw. We have a stop here so we can replicate the cuts identically on all of them. And we're effectively going to do 4 shallow cuts around these, which will give us our tenons. So excuse the noise, I'll turn it on, we'll get one done quickly and have a look. So here we go. So we've got that nice cut all the way round, and the next thing will be to remove the material in this direction to leave us a tenon. So I'll get the rest of these done, then we'll move on. Right, so we've got all those cuts made. There's a number of ways of cutting away all the waste here to leave the tenon. Do it by hand, do it with the bandsaw. My bandsaw blade's a bit blunt at the moment for this. The other way, I'm going to use a table saw. You can use a circular saw or even a hand saw to do the same thing. What we've done is remove the stop from this end, set this as a stop here so we don't come too far, and basically we'll make a lot of little cuts. I'll just do this first one and then we can see what we do from there. As you can see, we now have the vast majority of that material taken away. We'll now move over to the bench. So as we can see, we've now got this nice and firmly mounted in the vise. So we just need a nice large chisel and a mallet. And just chip out those bits. and then it's just purely a matter of cleaning up the high points. Like so. Needs a little bit more work, but if we get this out of the vise, we can see now we have that nice cheek cup. We just have to do the rest. So I'll get some of those done and then we'll carry on. Right, so here we have one done. You can see we've got nice good tenon on there, which will be fitting into the mortise on the upright of the door. So it just needs a fraction more cleaning up, but we'll leave that until we've done the mortises so we can make sure we get a nice tight fit. I'll get the rest of these done and then we can start looking at doing the mortises. Alright, so now we're ready to do the mortises in the other bits. I'm just doing this one with a scrap piece at the moment, just because it's easier to work with the camera. You can see where we have our mortise marked out. Let's just zoom that outer fraction. There's our mortise marked out, which lines up with that, so that will be going into there. So anybody who doesn't know what one is, this is a hollow chisel mortiser. If we move up slightly, what we have here is a square chisel with a drill bit on the inside, which chisels the square hole while the drill bit takes out the majority of the material and kicks it out the top here. And we have a couple of stops on the back so that we can actually move this side to side, and it's limited in its travel to the length of that mortise we need. It's all set up with a stop block here so that I can repeat it on each one. You can clamp the piece in and make sure that's all okay, and then we can cut the mortise. So let's just get this zoomed in a little bit. Hopefully you can see, and we'll cut a mortise with this one. So excuse the noise again. Excuse the noise. So there we have our square hole, and we'll carry on working out how we fit the two together. Right, so as you can see, we now have our square mortise hole or oblong mortise hole in that part. What I've done is I've just tidied up the tenon, cut it down to the right length, and we have a nice snug fit. So, and there we have effectively the corner of our door. So I shall get the rest of these done. We need a nice snug fit there, because these are going together without any screws or anything. We'll get onto that when we start assembling it. I'll get all these mortises done and then we'll carry on. Right, well, we've got all the mortise and tenons all done. So there is the frame, just dry fitted together. So next thing is to move on to sorting out the panels. So I'll grab some bits and pieces and we can have a go at that. Right, so I've been through my wood pile and picked out a load of bits and pieces, trimmed them all down to size. So what we need to do now is turn these into tongue and groove boards so we can make up a panel. So let's get these out of the way. And what we have here is the router table with fence for the width of the cut. We've adjusted the depth. So what we should be able to do is with 2 passes turn this into the tongue portion of the tongue and groove. So excuse the noise again. Then, as we can see, we get that there, we now have our little tongue. So we get that done on one side of every board and then we can sort out our groove in the middle. So I'll get on getting all those done. Right, so that's all the tongues done, as you can see. So now we have to fit the grooves in the other side. So I've adjusted the router table, put a different bit in. We've got this feather board to actually help hold that across there, and we'll feed that through and cut our groove in. So let's give one a try. Right, there we have our groove. Hopefully we can see that. If we come to this end, we now have the groove and the tongue. And with a bit of luck, these two should now fit together quite nicely. So we get the rest done, then we can glue these up into panels and then start sorting about getting them into the door. Right then, so there's the first panel all ready to go. I'll get the other one put together, get them glued up and clamped up, let them dry overnight, and then tomorrow we'll have a go at fitting them in the doors and getting that finished off. So thanks for watching, hope you enjoyed that. I'll see you again later. Bye.